Okay, welcome back and happy Monday. We are going to be studying volume of cylinders today. This is an 8th grade standard, but I have 100% full confidence that we are going to be able to zip right through it. You'll notice that it's only one page, so it shouldn't take super long. So, volume. Volume is the amount of three-dimensional space, which we already knew, that is occupied by an object. Volume can also be referred to as capacity. To find the volume of a cylinder, you're going to multiply the area of the base by the height of the cylinder. So I'm going to remind you that last week we used this exact formula right here to find the volume of prisms and pyramids, where with pyramids it was divided by 3. So you'll notice that it's still the same because a cylinder is just a prism with a circular bottom instead of a rectangular or triangular bottom. So the base of a cylinder is always a circle. So to find the area of the base, you're going to use the formula pi times radius squared. Okay, so that's what we're going to label over here. The capital B stands for area of the base, and that formula is A equals pi times radius squared. And then the H obviously stands for the height, which is the distance between the bases. Distance between the bases. Okay, so you have 6 examples, 3 of which we are just going to straight solve. I'm going to do number 1. I'm going to help you set number 2 up, and you're going to do number 3 on your own. So first things first, we should always identify our base. And our base is going to be this circle right there. Okay. Okay, that's our base. And it already tells us that we have a radius of 6. And then you're going to notice that the distance between one circle to the next circle is 4. Don't know what's going on with my pen today. Okay. The distance from one circle to the other circle is 4 inches. Okay, so the formula. Volume equals area of the base times the height, where our base is a circle, and we are going to use the formula pi r squared. All we need to do is plug in our values. What's super nice about having 8th grade standards is that you get to use a calculator. Okay, so we're going to plug this in. So V equals pi times 6 squared times the height. The only way y'all are going to mess this up is if instead of doing the radius, you use the diameter. Like on this next one, it says diameter is 8 inches instead of the radius. Or if you don't put a small 2 and you put the regular size 2 and you multiply by 2. It's another way that you might mess it up. But I have full confidence that you are not going to do that. So then you're going to go into your calculator and you are going to type in, oh my gosh, of course there's an ad. So sorry about that, guys. We're going to have to wait until it finishes. Okay. You are going to type in exactly what the formula said. So I'm going to go to scientific calculator and I'm going to say pi times 6 squared, which is 36, times 4. Y'all's is not going to look exactly like this, but you do get 452.39. 452.39. So our volume equals 452.39. Okay? If you don't believe me, pause it and check it in your own calculator. I'm double checking it in my calculator, and that is exactly what you get. You might get something a little bit different if you just use 3.14 instead of using the pi symbol. The pi symbol, you have to hit the second button, which is in the top left-hand corner, and then the button under clear, the little top of a house. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next question. I'm gonna set up the formula, I'm gonna plug, and then you are going to plug in the values, so on and so forth. Okay, so first things first, identify your base. There's 1, there's 2. Always circles. Okay, it tells us that we have a diameter of 8, which we know means we need to find our radius because we can't use our diameter. Our diameter is going to go all the way across the circle, and the radius only goes halfway across the circle. So our radius is going to be 4, half of 8. And then our height is whatever is connecting those two circles together, which is this measurement of 10. Okay, so you have your radius and you have your height, and you know that your formula is volume equals area of the base times height, where your base is a circle, and you use pi times radius squared to solve for it. So you're going to go ahead and plug in your values and solve, and I will have the answer on here for when you're finished. All right, you should have paused and solved on your own, and you should have gotten v equals pi times 4 squared, and all of that times 10. And when you put it in your calculator and solved, you should have gotten the volume to be 502.65. Okay, now you're going to do number 3 on your own, and we're going to come down here. Okay, so to leave an answer in terms of pi means to multiply everything except for pi and leave the pi symbol in your solution. So on 4, 5, and 6, it's asking you to solve in terms of pi, and then it also wants the actual answer. So I'll show you what that means. First things first, identify your base and your radius, because that's what we need to find the area of our base. So v equals area of the base times height, where our base is a circle, and we're going to use pi times radius squared. And then our height is whatever is holding the two circles together, which is this 15.2. So we are going to fill that in. V equals pi times 10 squared times the height of 15.2. So what I'm going to do is I am only going to type in this part and this part into my calculator. So 10 squared times 15.2, which is going to get me 1,000, oh, let me put an actual pin, 1,520, and then I have to leave pi on there. And what that does is tell us that we still need to multiply by pi, but it gives us a nicer and neater answer. So then what you do whenever you have that is you just hit that multiply button again, and then hit second and the pi button, and it will get you the answer of 4,775.2 millimeters cubed. And that is the actual answer, having multiplied by pi to the nearest tenth. Okay, you are going to go ahead and do questions 5 and 6. So you have 3 questions to do on your own. You can do it. If you have any questions, you can always ask me at the teacher table or whenever we start packing up. Okay.